Welcome to Story Ideas on the Fly, where we take a random story idea from a hat and develop it and see what we can do with it.
All right, let's see what today's random story idea is. The elephant in the room.
Oh, fun.
Okay, we could go.
Are we going
A
to
lot
take
of
it
different
literally or
directions.
figuratively?
I'd say
I-
figuratively.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
meant to be figurative.
Mhm.
So that
Besides,
means that
something
there
like the
is-
dragon in the room is way more interesting than an
True.
elephant.
So that means there's something massive going on that is probably something that people aren't actually talking that much about.
Yeah, that is effectively being ignored.
So why is it taboo to talk about?
We don't talk about pruning. Okay.
Okay, why on earth am I now thinking that there are people are coming back from the dead and you're not supposed to mention that these people are dead?
Undead?
That actually could be interesting. So you've got people that are rising from the dead,
A
and
bunch of zombies.
yeah, you're not allowed to. They don't necessarily, zombie apocalypse, but you're not allowed to mention that people are undead because that would be, I don't know, racist,
might-
homophobic,
it might-
xenophobic.
it might
necrophobic.
Maybe
It
there's
might
a
enrage
dragon-
them.
Oh.
It might enrage them to mention that they are dead, and they might attack people if that is mentioned.
Mhm.
Oh, so
That
there's a real
could actually
Yeah,
makes
maybe
sense.
there's an actual like jinx or curse on them that's causing people to come back. And yeah, if you point it out to them, then they go berserk or something bad happens. So
Or maybe it's that, okay, what if we did this? Some kind of curse on this town, because it's always best to do these things in a small town,
right.
where anytime someone dies in this town, they come back, like, they come back, and so a good, like, third of the town's residents are actually undead, but they don't realize that they are undead.
mhm.
And if they do, it kind of messes with it, and the exact effects aren't always the same, and so it's not like we have this happens, but people have been driven mad before or gone on
Yeah.
killing sprees and stuff, and so
Burst into flames.
usually people say, hey, it's better for them if they never realize that they are dead.
If we just go on as though everything's normal.
Well, what's different about these people, and why wouldn't they realize they're dead?
Well, one thing is obviously they're having altered perception, because usually if you have a corpse, they're going to look slightly different. I mean, just days after you're dead, your skin is going to be extremely pale. You're going to
Well, yes,
have a
but
lot
that
of
means
bloating.
only if they
But
look at themselves.
whatever the curse is that is animating them, could affect how they appear.
Yeah. How they appear or how they see themselves, or both.
You could go simple and just go, their veins become ridiculously dark, because that's really easy visual cue for
Mhm.
normal people of, oh, this
Okay.
person's dead. Do
Yeah.
not mention to them that this person is dead.
I think the big thing is they become a lot more durable's not the right word, but
Mhm.
they would biologically act differently. So since they don't have their heart's not beating, and so if they get cut, only like the blood that's right there actually goes out, and so they'd probably be a lot tougher than normal people.
Mhm.
I'd say when it comes to stuff like how strong would they be, they'd probably be weaker because
They'd be weaker but more
atrophy.
survive.
But
it's harder to kill
it'd
something
be a
that's
lot
already dead
easier for them to survive something
Mhm.
like throwing them off a cliff.
because they're already dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so this curse, we have these people. What's our plot here, though?
I think
Well,
there's an
here's a
evil
question.
necromancer involved.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, who caused the
So
curse
evil
and why?
necromancer, and okay, why did he cause it?
Maybe he's trying to get something, or he tried. Why would he curse a town? Revenge, but then he wouldn't have so much the need to stick around or cause more trouble. So maybe maybe this curse is he's trying to get something from it. Like
You
maybe
could
get
say
someone
he's trying to perfect something.
It's
If
possible.
you go something like he's actually trying to perfect a spell that will allow him to bring someone back from the dead, then you
Mhm.
could say, oh yeah, he lost someone, he wants them back, but if you try to bring them back, Okay, as he's got it
Yeah.
now, there's some minor
Yeah,
problems
but
with
why
that.
would he stick around the town? I think it
Mm.
would be nice to have someone or something connected to the town that he has to actually that he
Well,
needs, or that he's trying to get someone to give in and give it to him. There's something going on with this town that makes it special.
well, it could be that the real purpose of the curse might be to prevent some of the townsfolk from permanently dying because he
Mhm.
needs them to do something.
You could
Yeah.
go a couple of different ways. This could be where it's one of these blessings gone awry,
Yeah.
where they were trying, whoever did this was trying to keep someone that they loved from dying, and
It didn't
it
work so
went
well.
right. It went awry.
Fair enough.
So the question is, would this be something? Would these people who are coming back as undead want to be undead? Is it
Well, I
something?
think that's one of the reasons why people often go crazy when they realize they're dead is because it's like, wait, I'm dead. I'm a.
Yeah,
I think that's part
I
of the
think the
reason why
state
the madness
Yeah, I think the
associated with
state
it.
of being undead is not a good state.
Yeah, I don't think this
And I
is
think if
something
they
like, yeah,
realize it, that
we
it's a
get,
bad
we
thing.
can do whatever and we just come back and on dead and life is great. Then you don't really have much of a story. So I think that this being an undead has to be a painful thing. It has to be a, you know,
But I think if you don't know you're undead, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, it's
It's easier to go through if you don't know you're undead, but once you find out you're undead, it becomes a lot worse.
I don't know why you wouldn't know you're undead though. That still bothers me. So maybe they know they're undead. They know they're undead and it's a problem being undead, but bringing it up to them isn't informing them you're undead. They already know they're undead, but
Okay.
bringing it up to them.
Or saying undead. Or
So,
saying there are words that are taboo that they can't say.
right, because if they do something, then it triggers something in this curse,
And makes it
or
worse.
if they you could do something where if they actually see their reflection, there is a problem. And so, no, we
or it
just
could be that it's not so much that they don't know they're undead, but some kind of willful ignorance where they can ignore many of the problems of being undead as long as they ignore the fact that they are undead, basically. And so it would be yeah, it's a life of constant pain, but as long as you don't think about it,
Then the pain is
then yeah,
not
it's a lot.
actually.
It's a lot more bearable, and so then seeing themselves in the mirror, it's like, oh yeah, I'm dead, and it subconsciously reminds them, and thus makes everything worse again, type
Okay,
thing.
I think
That's a
there's a little
possibility.
bit of problem with that though, because if you're going, okay, well, if they can just not think about the fact they're undead, then they can, kind of live perfectly normal lives.
I
And
wouldn't say
that,
No, not
perfectly
yeah,
normal, but
right.
more normal.
More
So,
normal.
I think we need to really come up with a reason why,
Yeah, we need a
if
villain.
you talk about it, does it do damage? Because if you've got these people and they're undead and they're like, okay, I brought back, you meant to do well, but there is a better life for me. I need to move on, and
What if
I'm
the
trying to cope.
necromancer who did this brought back someone he loved and he doesn't want to admit that it's not the same, so he's put a curse so that if anyone mentions it, something really bad happens because he doesn't want people, he's like, I brought my love back, she's back, I have her, we're so
Ooh,
happy together.
Here you could
And
have,
someone says, actually she's dead. That makes him angry, and so he's made it so nobody can say.
or if anyone says it, they die. Because you're going to criticize my beautiful love here who looks like a walking corpse. You're going to say she's undead or she's dead or she's something, then the person will be
The
cursed.
person who says it.
And it could either be cursed with a, I die, or I have something, strike me that should kill me.
Or it could be if I mention it, the person who mentions it basically gets affected by the curse in a way that makes all the undead around super aggressive against them.
Okay, that could
That
work.
would work.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
now,
But something bad happens, and that's why, is because he doesn't want anyone to admit that his.
No, the girl he brought back is dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right. So, here's a somewhat of a sympathetic villain. I mean, obviously he's doing very
Yeah.
bad things, but anytime a villain is doing something because I love you, there is going to be
There's
some
at least a little bit of
level of
little bit of
sympathy.
sympathy.
So do we want what's the real conflict in this? What's our hero's
Well,
goal?
Something I think sounds like it could be fun is have it so that the conflict have it so that the hero is undead. Have it so that he is an undead, and a lot of the undead actually would like to go on to the afterlife because
especially
the
if any of
undead
them
is
had
actually
gotten like a
good.
glimpse of whatever this world's afterlife is and had it be a good place type thing.
Mhm.
And so they want to go on, but they
Yeah.
physically can't.
The
And so
down.
oh. And so he's trying to convince this guy, no, you have to let go.
The
You
downside
are
to that
actually
is it is
tormenting
harder
her.
to write the epilogue or the resolution. Not impossible, because it might be kind of
Well-
cool to say they go on to this new heaven and it's so beautiful or something.
Well,
But
that'd be a story where
might
you
be
wouldn't
difficult.
have as much of an epilogue. You would just
yeah,
have
but
a
your
final
your
chapter.
resolution might be more difficult.
Makes
I'm
the
not saying
resolution harder.
it's not doable. I'm just saying
Okay.
that's something to keep
It
in mind
makes
if
a
you want to
bit,
go that
this
direction.
is not, if it depends on what genre you want to do it in.
Mm-hmm.
Because this book could go several ways. If you want to do this
I'm leaning towards fantasy personally.
fantasy, then you need to have this be an evil wizard and who maybe even is I want to see everyone be undead, because then my wife is, that my love is not, I'm going to kill everyone, I'm going to bring them all back as undead, we are going to create this undead society, which is kind of insane, granted,
Yeah.
but insanity is a reason for villains to do things.
Mhm.
So you could have him be an insane wizard. If you want,
Well, you could have him be insane even without him trying to kill everyone. It could just be, I want to maintain this curse because for this reason,
Yeah.
and have everyone tell him, no, this is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
You're not helping these people. You're hurting
Okay,
them, and have him
yeah.
refuse to listen.
but
And
some
so,
of
no,
how
I am
bad-
smarter than you. I know what you want better than you do. You are just stupid. And
yeah, it
don't
depends
realize
here
how good
though
this
on
is.
what how you want this to go. Because if you want kind of a big battle at the end, when you think fantasy, you generally think big battle at the end. Here's our fantasy wizard. There's got to be a fight. Versus if you want this to be something where, hey, we're going to talk him out of this at the end.
Yeah.
I mean,
Versus
one of his campaigns, he literally talked the villain out of villainy.
No, we didn't talk the villain out of villainy. We talked him out of destroying the world.
okay,
That's
so
definitely
who's
helpful.
our hero? Who is our hero, and what is the goal?
Good question. I think I don't know. There are advantages and disadvantages to making the hero dead or undead because or alive, because yes, if he has died, then he has a personal stake and has a reason to want to move on. On the downside, that means your hero is going to die at the end, which
What do you mean?
isn't
He's not going to die at the end. He's already dead.
okay, but he's going to
He's going to finally
Yes.
be at peace at the end.
yes,
reach the
that's
afterlife at the
still-
end.
That
Whatever.
gets kind of dark still.
That's not
How's that dark?
necessarily the ending everyone wants to see.
Yeah, I'm not reading it.
I don't know. I'm
sorry.
leaning towards a bittersweet ending on this particular story. I already know how
How you
I-
do it?
Well, no, I've already had an idea for, because like one thing you could do is, if you wanted to, is the girl that the necromancer brought back and did all this curse for, she probably doesn't actually like the curse.
No.
So one thing is, you could actually make her get into a relationship with the main character at some point, and
Mhm.
and then, which would make a very interesting ending if she falls in love with the main character instead. And then at the end, it's just like, okay, I'm finally passing on, and then having her say, yeah, it may
Having
it
to
may
say
take
goodbye.
well, saying goodbye. Well,
Yeah.
also a whole thing of, it may take several years for you to pass on, but when you do, I'll be waiting for you, type thing. And
Mhm.
That's kind of bittersweet.
yeah, bittersweet.
We
yeah,
could
that-
go
There's a
another
place
way,
for it.
okay? This whole thing, this curse, could have been what caused these people's death. And because the curse caused the death, they became undead and didn't die. And so then, if you found a way to undo the curse and bring them back to life, it wouldn't be undoing their natural death. It would be putting them back where they were. So then you could have, let's make this undo the curse, bring these people back to life, and have things as they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to deal with some of the morbidity of the death. And we're going to,
Mhm.
but you also there have a very good
But
possibility
then-
for a love story where somebody's girl has been affected by this curse and he's trying to save her and bring her back. So
You could also.
Well, if you wanted to go that route, what you do is change the curse a little bit and make it so it's not like so much bringing back the dead, but that it's
doesn't really have to be undead. It could be we're still alive, but we're cursed with this.
yeah, some
basically
kind
undead
of
type thing.
weird. I don't know
Right.
what the curse itself would be,
But it wouldn't
but
be
then
undead.
yeah,
Mhm.
so
You would have
that
to completely alter
and then
the
have
curse in
it
order to make
yeah,
that
Yes.
but have it but change the curse so that it's a curse that like makes you disfigured or does something bad to you. I'm not sure what, but then have it be so
Makes you dying.
yeah, and then have it be it spreads by people pointing it out type thing, and so then you could do they all return to normal when the curse ends,
Okay.
Yeah.
which
So-
is a different story, but also a good one.
Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
we haven't really developed one idea here, but we've thrown out a lot of different ideas. This could be taken some different ways. So I don't know. I would not write this one. No, this
Probably
is,
not.
and
That
I do
sounds
enjoy
right
it,
up
but
their
If I
alley.
this
were to
sounds
do
more
this
up your
one, if I
alley.
were to do this one, I would definitely go down the route of this is undeath. Then the main character would almost certainly be undead, and he is specifically trying to stop this thing because as he died, he actually got a glimpse of the afterlife and then was dragged back into his body forcefully.
Yeah.
Well,
see, I
you
would-
could have some interesting themes in that because,
Yeah.
like, you have the whole theme of people wanting to stay young forever and Peter Pan, and then you realize no, you need to grow up eventually.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have a similar thing here where it's just like wanting to not die, and it's just like
Yeah.
no, the theme of this story would be death eventually comes, and you should accept it. You shouldn't seek it out before it's your
Yeah, you
time,
shouldn't seek it out,
but when
you
it
shouldn't
comes,
fear it.
you shouldn't fear
Yeah,
it, and then
personally-
passing
Okay.
on.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you could do.
Okay, so we'd like to know what you do. So
How
put your
would you write
comments
this?
in the comment section, and don't forget to put some ideas for our hat. We'll see you next time.